I'm so pleased to be joined today on Primetime Local News, all the way from Australia, by Andrew Farriss. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We're here today to chat about your recently released solo album. Now, a little bit of interesting background with this too. You had tried to do it a little bit earlier, and then the pandemic hit, and that's caused so many different problems. But tell me about the album. First of all, a lot of people will know you from being with INXS for many,
Yeah.
many years, obviously, and forming the band. And now
Mm.
your album is a little bit different format wise. It's more country, I guess, and roots music. Tell me a little bit about that and why you decided, first of all, to be do it as a solo project, and secondly, why is it kind of the country genre?
Right. Well, first of all, I've always loved country music. It's been in the background for me as a songwriter, especially because I love the storytelling, especially some of the old school country music and the gritty subjects that they would deal with and all that sort of thing. But how I actually started off making my own album, it sounds, a little strange, but I didn't start off making an album. I started re-recording older songs that I'd written over a period of years and more new ones that I'd written. And I started re-recording them because if they were co-writes, and it might have been another singer in the room, a girl or a guy who I was working with who was singing, the lead melody that we'd come up with or whatever. And I had all these different recordings, but demos that were very rough. And it just sounded like a real, higgledy-piggledy collection of songs. And then I thought, well, why don't I re-record them? And the nearest singer was me, to do it both in my home farm studio, which is a bit remote where I live. There is no other singer, it's just me. So I started singing them, and then I started re-recording them in Nashville. And it was while I was in Nashville, and I was also happened to be co-writing with other writers there. And as I started to record more and more and more, I thought the recording engineers, would say, "I'll look up my address book and we'll get someone who really knows what they're doing as a singer." But as it went along, they said, "No, we like your voice, man. Just keep singing." I'm like, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, just keep singing."
Well, and I've had a chance to see the videos that you have done for the song so far, Andrew, and I'm guessing that maybe some of the themes for the videos, maybe some of the inspiration came from that trip as well?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I thank Marlena, my wife, for that because she came up with some really cool ideas for these videos, as well as the video director. I was working with an Aussie guy down here. He's actually a brilliant country music guitarist. He just wants to play guitar. He doesn't want to make, our crazy Western videos, you know. Um, and he's a good guy. But the thing is that we've really been enjoying what we've been doing. And if people want to check out the videos you're talking about, just go to my YouTube channel and you'll see what we're doing. But there's more to come yet. We haven't finished yet, but we're kind of having fun with it. And the thing is that to keep in mind here is that I'm not trying to change the world. I pay respect to other cultures, past and present. We're just trying to entertain people. That's all we're trying to do. Mm.
When you were in Nashville, Andrew, was it a bit of a different experience? I read that you actually got to perform at the historic Bluebird Cafe. Was it different? Because obviously, when you were performing with INXS, you had tens of thousands of people watching you
Yeah.
guys all the time, and now here you are in this little intimate area, and you're not doing rock music anymore, but you're doing country, and it's in essence putting yourself out there. Was that a little bit different for you?
Yeah, I've done it twice. And the first time I was intimidated, not so much by having people literally 2 feet from my face. I didn't mind that. I was more intimidated by the other songwriters in the room with me who were damn good, and I'm like, whoa, okay, But I think in the passage of time, these INXS songs that I wrote or co-wrote with Michael when he was alive, a lot of that work we did has gone into culture in our countries, and it's played still on contemporary radio, which is, to me, just that's more surprising than anything. And that those songs are so well known that they really pulled me out of it. Plus the new songs I've been working on, I'm quite invested in a lot of it, emotionally, and I suppose spiritually, intellectually. I'm invested in what I'm doing at the moment, and I hope people like it. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. That's all, just a little bit. Yeah.
Now, this pandemic, Andrew, has changed things in so many ways, especially for artists like yourself. You can't go out and tour to the
Right.
you know, huge crowds and that sort of thing. Even promoting albums, it's very, very tough. So how have you approached that? And I guess how will you do it heading into the future with this album and with new material until we can basically get back to some sort of normal all over the world?
Exactly. Well, that's very well put. I think I think the first plan that we all make is to change a plan, right? All of us, all around the world, is oh, I had a plan. What's my plan now? And I think that's part of my journey with this thing is I'm actually heading out on tour here in Australia because our restrictions have eased a lot because the government sort of locked us all down, which was a good idea in the end. But at the same time, as you're right, it's been very frustrating because you haven't been up for musicians. Just the phrase social distancing is a kind of nightmare because the whole idea of entertainment is to have as little distance as possible socially. That's the whole idea of it.
Andrew, one of the things kind of that goes hand in hand with this is through the pandemic, a lot of people have said that music is something that has kept them going. So
Right.
I think that, roles for musicians are more important than ever. So knowing that, and I know it's a lot of pressure, but is it something that you think
Yeah.
of and that you keep in mind, as you're even doing things online for your fans and trying to get
Well,
to as many of them as possible, that there are people who are struggling and music is what gets them through?
absolutely. I mean, I was very aware of you're right. When we first started talking, I had started to release my album that's coming out now. And then I realized when the pandemic kicked in, and I have family here in Australia, I have family in England, uh, and then I have family now in the United States as well. And like most people, I was worried about my friends and my family, my health, their health, and their jobs, my job. Like you keep thinking about, well, what does this mean? Am I going to have a job next week? Or everybody's worried about just paying rent, paying the bills. They're not worried about Andrew Farriss's album. It doesn't mean anything in the bigger scheme of things. And I think I understand exactly what you're saying. For me, I just feel really fortunate. I feel really lucky to be able to share my music with everybody, and I hope they like it. You know.
Well, Andrew, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I love the music, having had a chance to listen to the songs from the album. If people are looking to find either the videos to check out or your music, what's the best way to do that?
Well, they can go to andrewfarriss.com or they can go to my YouTube channel, which is they got to spell my name right though to get on it.
Two R's, two
Um,
S's.
that's it. You got it. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. F for Foxtrot, A for Alpha, double R for Romeo, I for India, and double S for Sam. Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Andrew. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and good luck with everything. We look forward to seeing, hopefully, you come to Canada someday so we can catch you on a live solo show.
I love that, Stacey. And I hope you're all well over there, and we miss you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Andrew.